Hey guys, Ash here coming at you today, Raid Shadow Legends, with another champion guide, this time on Zargala. Zargala, an old school orc epic champion. Does she still have it? Is she still a great debuffer? Is she still a great damage dealer? Today we're going to find that out. But first, a few shouts to you guys. We have Gamer Max. Great guide, Ash. Thank you. We're looking for a guide on Oboro, Deacon, Zargala. I think I've done Deacon, have not done Oboro yet. We have Casper looking for a Zargala. We have Zab looking for a Zargala. Revilo, we have God, and we have Mroya looking for a Zargala guide. Let's go ahead and take a look at Zargala. So guys, as we mentioned, Zargala is an orc epic champion. Odds are, you've heard of her, right? She's one of the faces, I would say, not Skinwalker, but orc, Ash. One of the faces of Raid Shadow Legends. You know, she's in a lot of the advertisements, in a lot of those commercials, and she's definitely, I would say, what, maybe after like Kale? Who else would you even put in the conversation to be synonymous? Galek, I guess, Death Knight, I guess after those, Turvold? I don't know. She's in the conversation as one of the more, like, you know, well-known characters inside Raid Shadow Legends. Maybe that's a spin-off video for another day. Anyway, she's an orc, force affinity, epic, attack-based champion. Her base stats are all right. Her HP isn't too bad, almost 17k. Her attack is fair at 1400, and her defense is below average at 793. Pretty squishy there. Her speed is maybe slightly above average at 103 for an epic attacker. On split apart, her A1 has a 50% chance of placing a weaken with a single hitter. On the A2, Devastate is on a 2-turn cooldown. Very important. It's a single target ability that instantly activates the crack armor or skill, which is her A3 ability, if the target is killed by the attack. So it would behoove you at every situation possible to target the enemy with just a sliver of health out there. That way you can get the instant activation of the crack armor. Now, in more recent champions added to the game, it would also add that it will not put crack armor skill on cooldown, and it will instantly activate even if crack armor skill is on cooldown, right? That's something they added to the language on skills like this on newer champions out there. But that is to say that even if you just used crack armor, you come back in with Devastate, it will still instantly activate the crack armor ability. Crack armor is her big AoE attack. It hits not once, not twice, but 3 times on a 4-turn cooldown. After the first hit, so first hit goes through whatever. Second 2 hits have a 50% chance or 75% when booked of placing a decreased defense on all enemies for 2 turns. Man, I wish that was applicable to all of the hits, right? That will give us more damage, you know, on the second hit, obviously, on the first hit, obviously, I should say, and it will increase the dependability of landing the decreased defense, considering it's a 4-turn cooldown. Good news is pretty decent multipliers here, some nice damage in her kit, and you absolutely love the synergy of being able to pop off with the crack armor every time you kill somebody with the Devastate, right? She also has accuracy in all battles on the aura, which is absolutely helpful in especially progression areas of the game, dungeons, faction wars, etc. And all battle auras can be used in Cursed City as well. So not too bad. It's not the best all accuracy aura in the game, but 40 is still, it's worthwhile, right? It's the bonus that you're going to get from a couple perception set, or a perception set, excuse me, or an accuracy set. All right, so that's her kit, guys. You can check out the entire champion lore on Zargala. I think it's actually pretty interesting, but I'm not going to read it all to you guys right now. She's one of the champions with the most reviews in the game, over 10,000 reviews. They give her the highest scores in Arena Offense, Spider's Den, Campaign, Dragon Lair, Minnow, and Arena Defense. Let's see what hellhades.com says about her overall grading and where we can use this champion. A 3.5 overall grade. I actually totally agree with that. I think it's spot on for Zargala. Her best or key areas in the game are going to be Spider. Spider progression, she's great. You know, she can shred through those spiderlings. She can do decent damage with the Spider Mother. And what you can do is, again, like we spoke about, a key part of the strategy with Zargala is targeting a spiderling maybe with the A2 to trigger the crack armor on everybody. That being said, she is going to taper off in terms of her overall utility in Spider as you get to, you know, level 20 and beyond, right? right? She can still be a competent debuffer in those situations, but her raw damage isn't going to be able to carry you. You're going to need the burners and everything else, right? The newts or whatever in hard mode. Dragon, they give her a 5 out of 5. I mean, she's a good DPS and a good debuffer for wave content pretty much anywhere inside the game. I wouldn't consider her like out of this world, the best champion in the game for normal Dragon, but she is very competent as a debuffer and a wave killer in every dungeon. Same thing with Ice Golem as well. Provided you can keep her alive, make sure you can keep her alive. She is a little bit squishy. We talked about the defense. So Doom Tower, her highest ranking is going to be in Dark Fae. Again, in Dark Fae, she's going to be a great wave killer. I'm repeating myself here, but a great wave killer, a great debuffer for your team, right? And good against kind of the mirrored images of your own squad. And don't forget on that A1 ability, we kind of glossed over it quickly, but she can land the big version of Weaken. There's a lot of champions out there with decreased defense. There's not a lot of champions with Weaken, and especially champions that have decreased defense and Weaken in the same skill set, in the same, you know, not the same skill, but the same champion per se, right? So Zargala does have that. So it's few and far between on epics that you can get a decreased defense and a big version of Weaken, especially against bosses. And that is a pretty good land rate for bosses, having a 50% chance at the big version on the A1. All right, guys, let's go ahead and show you how I have her built. It's not going to be a shocker to any of you guys. We're going to put her in Savage gear for today's video. I do have, I believe, Killstroke on her as well. I like Savage in Killstroke, Savage in Cruel, Savage in Perception, Lethal in Perception. Those are my favorite sets for Zargala. Here's how we have her built. As I mentioned, Savage, ignore 25% of enemy defense, and Killstroke. She can be utilized in the arena as well, and I should probably mention her multipliers. A 3 on the A1, which is solid. A 5.3 on the Devastate A2, very, very solid. And then a 1.2 on the triple AoE attack on the A3, which is pretty significant as well. Obviously, you add it all up, we're looking at 3.6 overall AoE damage, which isn't bad. All right, so now we can go into how I have her built. Crit damage on the gauntlets. We're building her like a nuker, right? Crit damage on the gauntlets, attack percentage on the chest, speed on the boots. We do need accuracy, obviously, to land both of those debuffs that we've already spoke about in length. So I love accuracy on the banner. We have crit damage on the amulet, and we have attack on the ring. As I always say here on the channel, guys, if she's dying or if she's in danger of dying on your team, you're running into issues, don't be afraid. Don't hesitate to put survivability on Zargala. As a matter of fact, just in today's video, just to prove the point, I'm going to go ahead and swap out this ring. Why do I want to swap out the ring? Because of defense. When I see a champion, any champion, with this low on the defense, 793, same thing could go with the HP. If she had like 12,000 HP or something like that, it's going to be a big, you know, signal in my brain is going to go off, and it's going to say, okay, maybe we should go flat stat ring of that worst stat, because obviously percentage isn't going to help out that much, right? So it's sometimes the easiest way to bolster up that very weak spot on this champion. So we will go ahead and make the change. Let's go ahead and put defense as primary stats and see what we have available here. I am silver broke right now, guys. So I do not want to strip away gear, but we're going to have to. Let's go ahead and take Duck the Pierce's ring off. So what I'll look for is some nice attack in the substats if I'm going to make that change, and we definitely have that here. So we're still getting quite a bit of attack out of this ring, but, you know, we're healthier. We're approaching the 3,000 number on the defense. That's going to allow her to take a shot or two. Let's go ahead and glyph out some of these attack stats to get a little bit of a boost here as well. All right, 1%, womp womp. It is what it is. Okay, so total stats on Zargala are going to be, in terms of priorities, 332 accuracy and 103% crit rate. Accuracy and crit rate are going to be 1A and 1B in terms of priorities when building this champion in terms of stats. After that, we can focus on crit damage. If you're early game, don't be afraid to put crit rate on the gauntlets instead, right? And then speed, attack, survivability, right? Those are all things to consider, obviously, outside of the main priorities in accuracy and crit rate. We do have Crushing Rend on her. I have her 5-star awakened in today's video. So we're going to be the first 2 hits of each round. We'll ignore a percent of the the target's defense, 1% for every 25 levels. Very useful in PvE when those levels can really stack up 200, 300. That's a lot of extra ignored defense, which I absolutely love. In addition to that, we get all these stat bonuses, the crit damage, the attack, the HP, the resistance. All we're not getting is the speed at the perfect 6-star, but blessings, hey, newsflash, they're really strong in this game. All right, I like, by the way, I like crushing Rend. However, if you want to use her for Fire Knight as sort of a debuffer, she has a single target on her A1 and her A2. She has a triple hitter on her A3, though, so for progression, you could consider Phantom Touch in that scenario. You could use also... I just think crushing Rend is the way to go on her, honestly. But I like to give you guys more options. You could consider Cruelty as well, right? All right, to the Masteries. These are my old school Masteries on Zargala, but I took a look at them and I was like, okay, I don't feel like I really need to do any major updates here. Usually I redo them for these videos, but I think this is fine. Kind of a hybrid blend for PvE and PvP. I would say if you're only using her in PvP, PvE rather, not using her at all inside the arena, I'd probably ditch Helm Smasher and just go War Master for a little bit extra damage against bosses specifically. I came down the right-hand side and I picked up the support Masteries. I will say one major flaw that it's going to have to make me redo my Masteries for you guys is we really absolutely essentially want Sniper on this champion. I don't know why I didn't have it, but hey, like I said, these are about 40 years old, this build on this champion. Why? For obvious reasons. The A1 weaken and the A3 decrease defense. So important that we get Sniper, even more important than Master Hexer, or in my opinion, even more important in some situations as our tier 6 Master. So we definitely want to take advantage of Sniper 1000%. Okay, now we can go and pick up the crit rate, the crit damage. I'm going to build her, even though I will showcase her in the arena today. I'm going to use a Cursed City hard area where I really relied on her super heavily. I'll pick up Life Drinker. She's pretty squishy. A little bit of healing based on her damage dealt will definitely be useful. I could have picked up Whirlwind of Death as well, especially since I'm going to be using her in wave content in the video, but I'm just going to go with a single out. We're also going to go with Heart of Glory. Just keep it pretty basic here. Come down the left-hand side, bring it down, and do I want Methodical or a Kill Streak? You know what? We'll keep with the hybrid build. Obviously, against other champions, aka wave content, Helm Smasher is going to be great in those situations as well. We might as well pick up Cycle of Violence because we can't benefit too much from Lore of Steel on this particular build. So this is going to be our new Masteries, and I am 100% okay with that. I'm really happy that we went and corrected the Sniper, though, on her. Excuse me, get choked up talking about Zargala. Okay, guys, let's go ahead and go into battle. So, in the Cursed City floor, as I mentioned before, I think it was it S8? Was it Soul Cross 8? It sure was. So this is a challenging stage. No access to legendaries. Pretty difficult content. I had to really rebuild Duden. He was a main part of this as well. But you're going to see Zargala is going to be our main DPS on a team with, quite frankly, a decent amount of DPS. It's really the survivability that we needed on this squad. So let's go ahead and make myself a little bit smaller here. All right, so this is Mistrider.The coming in here and debuffing. So he's going to have his own decreased defense. Now, this is an epic champion as well. His decreased defense is also on the same cooldown, a 4-turn cooldown, but he has an extra turn mechanic. But it's okay. We have Devastate available. We're Force Affinity. We have a low... You saw how I attacked Ray with Mistrider.The? Well, this is exactly what I was talking about. I want to set her up, Zargala, to come in there and finish off a low-health Magic Affinity champion so we can come in there and, boom, triple hit everybody else. It's beautiful. All right, let's go ahead and... I think if I recall correctly, the second wave is a lot harder than the first wave. So let's just put a taunt out there and let's kind of play with fire a little bit here and let them take a turn. No, I lied. Let's go in and kill them. You never know. Do I want an A1 cycle or do I not want to? We have to deal with this big fella, Morton Macabre here, Tyrant Ixlamore, Drexstar Blood Twin, who I still need to do a guide on here, and Sissia Flame Tongue on the next wave. All right, so let's go ahead and take out... I'm going to leave this big fella for last, right? Sissia can be super annoying, but I really don't want all the buffs from Tyrant. Plus, he's an easy guy to pick on because of the affinity, right? So let's go in. Let's debuff everybody and pray that we don't proc a peril. Now, we could try to devastate here, but we're not going to be able to kill anybody. But I'm gonna do it anyway because I don't want. Oh, it worked! It worked. She one-shot. That was impressive. I did not notice. Did you guys notice if peril procced? Oh, I'm so petrified of Morton Macabre, but hopefully if he kills somebody, it's not Zargala, right? Let's just hope for that. You know what? Let's go in and see if we can pop him off right here. Oh, gosh, no, we certainly can't. Proc, oh, the fear procced. I love it. I love it. We got very lucky there, guys, but I will take it. Let's just keep going here, go around. We want to save that A3 for the next wave. Instead, let's go in, make sure we take down Morton Macabre here. Everybody's going to be targeting him till he's dead. Then we can take out the final Drexstar Blood Twin. And now we are cooking. We are cooking here, guys. All right. Third wave, we're dealing with a Bellinor, Lysandra, Deliana number 2, and Loranithel. Lonatheril? One of these days I'll get it right. Now we can go in here and again. Now, I got to be real with you guys. Mr. Rider Dati, you know, he's kind of still on the show a little bit here. And it's unfortunate because it does show a little bit of power creep on Zargala. I mean, my man's got this A3 with extra turns, increased attack. He's bringing his own buffs, right? On this team, we don't have an increased attack champion, but he's got it all covered. He's got his own increased accuracy as well. He's got an extra turn on every single ability. You know, he's really strong, frankly. You know, he's stronger than Zargala. But what Zargala has that he doesn't is the ability to come in here, kill Bellinor, and boom, triple rain on everybody else, right? So she still has her use cases, absolutely. I'm not trying to sit here and say she's trash or anything like that. I am just saying that back in the day when she was one of everybody's most wanted debuffers in the game, this is before Stag Knight. This is, you know, before Deacon Armstrong, you know, before Miss Redder Dothy, for example. Zargala was who everybody talked about, right? So damage-wise, she did out-damage everybody else on the team. Now, granted, she benefited from quite a few crack armor instant activations, but that's a highlight of her kit, right? So she deserves credit for that. And hey, we set a new best turn record as well. Not best time because I was too busy blabbing to you guys throughout the process. But I mean, you know, very competent debuffer / nuker there. There's no doubt about it. Some people used to recommend stun sets for Zargala. It's worth noting that even though you can get the instant activation off the A3, which can help with a stun set, that we only get one chance, 18% chance of stun on that A3. We don't get it ×3 in a stun set. All right, guys, let's go ahead and just do it like an arena battle or two just to see what she can do. Now, I'm running her on a speed go first team, and I'm running her with another nuker on the team, right? You can run her as your only nuker, or you can run her as your debuffer and then make space for another nuker. So the way I love to build a progression arena team with a Zargala is going to be, you know, a speed booster. You can use a Seeker. I like Seeker personally. You can use Arbiter. You can use whoever you have access to, right? And then you want to go ahead, Apothecary, you know, in the early game as well. And then you want to basically make Zargala your second, or you could put a control champion, excuse me, as your second fastest. We're going to use Armand's because he's broken and incredible. But, you know, it could be somebody like Miscreated Monster. It could be for arena progression, for farming your Great Hall, right? I like to put somebody on your squad. Could be, you know, if you're playing and you have Ninja, a freeze champion, there's a billion of them out there. Somebody to go in there and neutralize the enemy team. That way you can afford to build this semi-slow Zargala and nuker. So Zargala is going to go before your nuker. Obviously, she's going to be the third fastest on the team. And she is going to lead. Well, in this situation, we could probably pop off somebody here, right? I think we could probably pop off... I think we can get Trunda. Trunda is tanky, but you know, 100K, no big deal. We can come in instant activation and sayonara. Nagorio didn't even get a chance to go, right? So that's as a go first team, provided that we can win the speed race. Now, if it was a faster team, I probably would have been on the other end, the receiving end of what we just saw, right? But let's go against another speed team here. I think that's their best use case in the arena. I think on a go first team, as a nuker / damage dealer. And the cool thing about that last battle is we didn't even use her A3. I mean, she did, but it was through, you know, it was through the Devastate instant activation, which is really cool. Now, in this circumstance, I think that based on how hard she's been hitting, honestly, I think I could probably take out Ray. So I'm going to do it, damn it. Normally, you would probably want to open up with the A3 and set up your nuker. But I mean, if I think I can kill a squishy nuker, I might as well get the activation. And now again, Nagorio can just kind of come in and clean up, right? But I am pretty impressed with this damage. Granted, it's, you know, mid gold 5. We're not going against the craziest teams in the world. Let's go against a tanky team and see what happens, right? Actually, let's go against a little bit of a tankier team right over here, right? So let's see how we do against something a little bit more formidable before I let you guys go. All right. So we're going to come in here. We're obviously going to go first against this team. Now, we don't have a debuff, or excuse me, a buff remover except for the A3 here of Armand's. So we may as well. I'm so scared of this guy right here. Again, so let's just go in there and turn UDK into a sheep and play things safe and cool, right? Morton Macabre's going to come in with a heavy-hitting A2 ability anyway, but I'd much rather turn him into a sheep. We tried the A2 there. It did some decent damage to Siffy, you know? But again, let's keep just picking on Siffy here. And I don't even want to mess with Mortu until he loses his stone skin, honestly. And we can do that with Armand's, right? He comes in with a very hard-hitting A2. Let's just keep it going, though. We can revive and take an extra turn. The Woman of the Hour will be back with us here. Luckily, they wake up Arbiter. That was a nice little blessing there. Let's revive. Let's take an extra turn. Let's heal everybody. Increase attack. Everybody's set up. Now, I'm hoping that we can come in here, land a stun, steal the turn meter, and then turn Morton Macabre into a sheep before he gets a chance to go. Come on. Okay, good. No, we can't. Because of, okay, we got it. We're good. Everything's good. Now we can start hitting with AoEs, finally, right? Zargala, check this out. Beautiful. No. Oh, yes. All right. We don't have the A2 available. It's a shame, but we can come down with crack armor. Nice job. All right. Siffy, take her out. All right. UDK doing a heck of a job. So I feel like we had our shot and we kind of blew it here, honestly. You know? 2-time hitter. We're not going to be able to kill Siffy here, I don't think. Nope. And this big fella, we need to stun him. And we do. We might have a shot here, guys. We might have a shot here. I'm going to actually sheep. Okay? Or I'm not going to sheep Mithrala. I take that back. Let's kill UDK. Clear the way for a Devastate here. All right. Unfortunately, I'm 1 turn away from the increased attack. I could really use it. Because I think with the increased attack, we could bleed through the decreased defense. Let's go ahead and stun. Land a couple more stuns. Perfect. Here it is. Okay. Killer. Boom. Oh! Oh, so close. All right, Nagorio. Kill Siffy. Done. Okay. Let's worry about Morton Macabre later. Let's focus on Mithrala. All right. A1 Mithrala. Hey, I got to be real with you guys. I don't want to call it before it's over. But I'm proud of this little team here, man. Proud of this little team. All right. I don't want to burn the revive, as tempting as a speed boost is. I'd rather just play it safe here. Go in. There it is. Perfect. Hey, not too bad there. Not too bad at all. We took down the big beasts, and Zargala did pretty well damage-wise. You can tell that she's not like thrown in there just to be funny for the spotlight. She actually serves a pretty decent purpose. I like Zargala, guys. Hopefully you guys did as well. Really cool champion, like debuffer. Again, we talked about it. Decreased defense and weaken and the instant activation and the triple hitter. There's a lot of versatility in this old school epic champion, epic nuker debuffer. Thank you for watching. Keep the champion god requests coming in the comments below, guys. And as always, take care.